Well, good morning. How is everybody doing? We are on our 5th day of Lent. And how are we doing with our Lenten promises, our Lenten commitment? Are we struggling? Have we started? Let's start there, right? Have we even started our Lenten commitment? Yeah? And here in the midst of it, I say this, why? Because not only did I spend 3.5 hours in confessions, listening to people's confessions yesterday, but I also am hearing people outside of confession in our conversations, in our daily conversations with people, that, Father, man, I completely forgot. Ash Wednesday, I just went out and I had a really nice steak dinner, and I was like, wow, okay. And then, even on Friday, hey, Father, I forgot we can't eat meat on Fridays, and man, we had a great pizza fully loaded with meat, and I was like, great. These are the kind of things that we are only called to abstain or fast 2 times a year, Ash Wednesday and Good Friday. Yet we're called to abstain from meat every Friday during the Lenten season. How hard is that commitment? Where is our faith? Where are we in our understanding of what Christ has asked us, what the church asks us to do, to offer this up as a sacrifice for what? For what he has done for us. And so here in the midst of it, we must be better at this. We must get to be better at this, but it takes practice, and we got to continue to practice this every single day. It is what God has called us to do. And so here in the midst of it, we started the journey with the heart, right? And the heart is what needs to be transformed. So part of it is because the world has imposed themselves on us, and the world has imposed themselves and hurt us. And so we then have made a wall, let's say, or we have cemented our heart, and we said, you know what? We're going to protect this little heart of mine, and I'm not going to let anything in this world come and hurt me. The disappointments in life, the broken relationships, the lies, the deceits, the words that were given to me, I'm going to protect this. I'm protecting this from all of that. And that's where we live. Well, beneath all of that is this beating heart that wants to come out, that wants to love. But we, because we are broken, we hide our hearts and we don't allow it to beat. We don't allow it to extend love to our brothers and sisters in Christ. And so this is what this journey is all about. But I tell you, it didn't start with you. This is a generational sin that has been going on for generations and generations and generations. Why? We just read it. We just read it in our very first reading from Genesis, the fall of man. And since the fall of man, this has been closed off from loving people, from loving our brothers and sisters in Christ. In today's world, in today's where we're at, right? There are many of you who are sitting here who do not have relationships with your family, right? You don't have a relationship with either your father or mother, or you don't have a relationship with your brothers or sisters. You barely know your cousins, right? It's been so long since I've visited with any of them. You barely have a sort of a relationship with them. Why? Because you closed this off. And the problem with that, adults, is that you're teaching the next generation to do the same thing. It's not necessary that I have a relationship with my siblings, because my parents don't have a relationship with their siblings. It's not necessary that I have a relationship with my parents because my parents were bad parents, so I'm going to separate myself, and the next generation's going to say, well, I really don't like the way my parents act. I really don't like that my parents go to church on Sundays. I don't want to do that. So I'm going to disregard my parents, and I'm going to go on my own way. And then we pass it on to the next generation again. And that's what happens here. It's a generational sin. So if you think you're not hurting anybody, wrong. You're hurting the next generation that's coming behind you, because you are their first teachers. You have taught them this. And you can't blame them when you're older, right? Oh, I didn't raise my kids this way. You most certainly did raise your kids this way. They follow your example. And so if we don't stand up and make a change today, we corrupt the next generation in the same way that we have been corrupted by the people before us. So today, God is calling us to say, look, step away from that. Learn how to love. Learn how to love those people who have hurt you immensely. Learn how to love and forgive those, your neighbors, your own children, your parents. Forgive them and love them like I have loved you. Do you think that Jesus and God turns their back on us every time we've offended them? Absolutely not. In fact, he meets us there in the confessional. He meets us there in our darkness. We just have to turn towards him. This Lenten season is about conversion of the heart. It's about letting those cemented pieces fall away so that beating heart can love again. The temptations are real, my brothers and sisters, and that's why that reading in the gospel reading is there. Jesus, who is both man and God, is tempted in the desert. But unlike the first man in Adam, who fell, who allowed sin and death to enter into the world, Jesus comes to teach us that life and love has entered into the world. Forgiveness, mercy, and love is there for us. We don't have to follow our ancestors. We don't have to be like them. It's a choice in the same way that Lent is a choice. It's your choice. Do you choose